Hello viewers, so welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video today, are you an international student that wants to come and study in Canada in the year 2022? That's next year. Alright, in this video today, I'll be telling you why you should start thinking of going to New Brunswick for your study. New Brunswick is one of the provinces in Canada. Why you should go there as an international student, that is what I'll be dissecting in this video, because studying in New Brunswick in the year 2022 give you an easy path to become a permanent resident and eventually a Canadian citizen. So I'm going to stay tuned. That is what I'll be dissecting in this episode. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I still remain my humble self, MC Bernardino. This is Canada Reality, where I dish out content for those that are in Canada and those that are aspiring to migrate into Canada. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, please do me the honor. It doesn't bite. Hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that anytime I drop a video, which is once in a week in most cases, you will get notified. And if you enjoy this video, it doesn't cost you anything. Likewise, smash on the likes button and please do not hesitate to share it with whoever you feel will benefit from this video. Alright viewers, just like you know that I always like to give you information, because I know that information is very key, it's very paramount, and I know that many of you are outside Canada especially wants to come into Canada, but because you are misinformed or because there's no information, your aspiration, your yearning to come into Canada has been hampered, and that was why I created this platform in the first place. So once those information break, I always want to serve it to you as it is. Just like I said earlier on in the introduction, that I'll be telling you about New Brunswick, why you should study in that province, because it gives a very easy path into becoming a permanent resident. Yes, sometimes in August 18 this year, some few weeks ago, New Brunswick, the province announced a pathway for international graduates that studied in New Brunswick to become permanent resident, and that is what I'll be telling you in this video. So the information is still very sketchy now, but I'll still try to give you the information as little as it is. And also in the video description, so I'll be linking the website to where you can actually read it for yourself and get to stay informed about this information. So as an international student that wants to come and study in Canada, your primary purpose is to study in Canada, work in Canada, and eventually become a permanent resident and also be a Canadian citizen. If that's your aspiration, because that was why I thought of when I came into Canada. So if that's your aspiration, then you should start looking at New Brunswick as a province to study. So there are so many schools there, but this particular program is geared towards 4 private colleges in New Brunswick. So these private colleges have been in existence for a long time in that particular province. So the government is running this program in affiliation with 4 private career colleges in New Brunswick. So if you study in any of these 4 colleges in New Brunswick, starting from April 1st, 2022, then you might eventually, when you're done with your study, you might eventually be invited to apply for permanent provincial nominee program and eventually become a permanent resident in Canada. So just like I said, this program is only limited to 4 colleges, which I'll be telling you in this program today. And not only that, you can only study 19, there are only 19 programs, 19 courses as you want to refer to it, that you can study for you to qualify for this program. 4 colleges, but 19 programs in these colleges in order for you to qualify for this provincial nominee and eventually become a permanent resident in Canada. All right, so let's talk about which are the 4 colleges in New Brunswick that qualifies you for this program. So the first one is Atlantic Business College. The next one is Eastern College. The third one is Mackenzie College, and the last one is Queentin College. These 4 colleges are all in New Brunswick. Don't forget I said earlier on that they are private colleges. One thing I need to let you know is that in these 4 colleges, they are private colleges, and what that suffices is that when you're done your program in those schools, you are not assured of postgraduate work permits. Let me break that down so that you can better understand it. As an international student that is coming into Canada, it is advisable for you to study in a postgraduate designated learning institution where you are sure that when you're done your program, you will get your postgraduate work permit, and that can be confirmed on IRCC website. So if you now study in a school that is not a designated learning institution for postgraduate work permit, that means that when you're done studying, you can't apply for work permit. You have to return back to your country. So that is very dangerous. But in these particular colleges, 4 colleges, they are not designated learning institution, meaning that you cannot get your postgraduate work permit when you are done. So What that simply means is that it's a give or take. So if you actually want to study in this these 4 colleges, you have to know at the back of your mind that you won't get a postgraduate work permit. But if you studied in these colleges and you do one of the 19 programs that I'll be telling you in this video, then that particular province has that part that they created a pathway for you to work in that province. So you are not applying to the federal government of Canada for work permit. Rather, you apply in that province for work permit, which will be granted to you because you already fulfilled the criteria. And when you work from that, it created that pathway so that you can become a permanent resident through provincial nominee, which means that that province will particularly nominate you for provincial nominee to the federal government. I don't know whether you understand what I've just said, but if you need better clarification, drop those questions in the comment section. Just for you to better understand what I've just said, let me quote verbatim the word of the Minister of Opportunity in New Brunswick, just like she said. We are excited that we can help retain more international students by opening up an innovative pathway that is made for New Brunswick, said Adeline Dunn, Minister responsible for opportunities in New Brunswick. With the increased competition for skilled labor, the potential to transition international students into permanent residents is crucial. So she has just made it clear that New Brunswick actually created this pathway for international students that studied in that province to become permanent resident, because turning international students into permanent resident is very crucial, because they already know about the system, they already studied in the system, they work in the system. Why not just transition them into permanent resident? And that was why this program was created. So now let's talk about the 19 programs that you have to apply for. So that means that you cannot just apply for any program in those 4 colleges. You have to study one of these 19 programs, which I will highlighting now. So the targeted occupation for the pilots include social and community service workers, early childhood educators and assistants, educational assistants, healthcare aides, home support workers, licensed practical nurses, paramedics and related occupation, medical laboratory technologists, medical laboratory technician and pathologist assistant, medical administrative assistant, computer programmers and interactive media developers, web designers and developers, computer network technicians, user support technicians, accounting technicians and bookkeepers, payroll clerks, shippers and receivers, supply chain and logistics supervisors, and last but not the least, production logistic coordinators. So these are the 19 programs that qualifies you for this particular pathway to become a permanent resident if you study in any of the 4 colleges that I've mentioned earlier in New Brunswick in the year 2022. Alright viewers, I hope you actually understood the video that I brought for you today. Just let me quickly summarize so that you better understand what I've just said today. So New Brunswick, which is one of the 10 provinces that we have in Canada, created a pathway that will be starting April 1st, 2022, that is next year, and it is geared towards international graduates, meaning that international students that chose New Brunswick to study and graduated in New Brunswick in 4 colleges which I've mentioned earlier. If you study in any of these 4 designated colleges, don't forget that I said that these 4 colleges are private colleges, meaning that when you're done studying your postgraduate work permit, you can't apply to the federal government of Canada through immigration for postgraduate work permit, but rather when you study in any of these 4 colleges, what you can do is that you can apply for provincial nominee, because they've created a pathway for international students that graduated in any of these 4 colleges that I earlier mentioned, and in any of the 19 programs that I also mentioned earlier, you can actually apply for provincial nominee. So that is a very good opportunity, because you don't have to compete with people in the federal pool for express entry or whatever the case is, but rather all you just have to do is, once you're done studying, they give you opportunity to work in that province, they give you the opportunity to apply for provincial nominee, and eventually when you're provincial nominee, if everything goes well with you, you can become a permanent resident through this particular pilot program. So what I'm trying to say in essence is just that, as an international student that is still thinking of, oh, I want to come into Canada, and your primary motive is to study in Canada and eventually become a permanent resident and also a Canadian citizen, why not just look at New Brunswick, the province, and study in any of these 4 colleges if you can afford it, and make sure that not just any program you're studying, but one of these 19 programs that I've just mentioned. And these programs cut across business management, cybersecurity, what's it called, logistics, and nursing. And so those are the 4 core areas that this program is actually geared towards. So you can actually look at it, study in any of these 4 colleges, and that could be your visa to become a permanent resident and eventually a Canadian citizen. Okay viewers, I hope you actually understood the video that I brought for you. If you enjoyed this video, please smash on the likes button, and if you haven't subscribed, please once again hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be among the first to get it. Forget to also share this video with whoever you feel will benefit from it. Till I come back to you again on this YouTube platform, Canada Reality, stay blessed, and I hope to see you in Canada very soon.